Hey Ami, welcome back to another Taekook one shot. Taehyung always believed he was easy to forget. He wasn't loud like Min, nor effortlessly charming like Kobe. He wasn't the cool, mysterious type like Min. Youngie neither. He was just Taehyung, soft sweaters, small pastel socks with cartoon bears on them, sweet, gentle, harmless. But Jungkook was everything Taehyung wasn't. Golden boy, school's best athlete, the kind of handsome that made people stop walking for a second. Jungkook had fans, admirers, notes in his locker every day, and somehow Taehyung became his friend. They might met one rainy afternoon when Taehyung forgot his umbrella and Jungkook wordlessly held his over both of them. Since that day, they had lunch together, walked home together, shared music, laughed at stupid. Jungkook always called him Tete or Bear because they liked collecting small teddy keychains. Everything about Jungkook made Taehyung's heart warm and hurt because Jungkook already had someone hobby. They had been dating for a few months and Taehyung remembered the moment Jungkook announced it on the rooftop during lunch. Everyone cheered and congratulated them. Taehyung did too, smiling brightly. But the second he looked up at the sky, he wished he could disappear into it. He had been in love with Jungkook long before Hobie ever confessed, but they knew he wasn't. Jungkook's type. Jungkook liked confident people, active and bold. People like Hobie, not soft boys who collects pulses and wore pastel shirts. Still, his heart wants what it wants. A month later, Thang stood in front of Jane, who had just finished dyeing his hair a warm cream caramel brown. Jane stepped back, hands on his hips. Jane, okay, they looked. Thang stared into the mirror. His dull black hair was gone, replaced by something fresh and lively. He actually liked it. The new color warmed his cheeks and made his eyes spark. Thang, it's perfect. Thank you, Hyung. Jane smiled proudly. Jane, you never told me why you wanted to change your hair though. Thing bit the inside of his cheeks because Jungkook likes brown hair. Thing just wanted something new. He forced a smile and Jane didn't question further. When Jane left, Thing stared at his reflection again, running his finger through his new hair. He wanted Jungkook to look at him just once, not as a friend, not as someone cute and childish. He wanted Jungkook to see him as someone he could love. But the moment that thought crossed his mind, he shook his head quickly, saying, "Stop thinking like that." He promised himself he wouldn't try to take Jungkook from Hobie, never. So why was he changing himself? He didn't know. Maybe he just wanted to feel worth something, anything. At school the next day, they walked down the hallway wearing something different, a soft, oversized cream sweater tucked into neat jeans that hugged his legs just enough but not too much. His new brown hair matched the soft tone of his outfit. The students whispered around him, "Whoa, is that Teha?" He looked so different, like his new style. Thing tried not to react. He only cared about one person's opinion. At lunch, he reached the rooftop and found everyone around there. Hobie and Jungkook sat close together, Hobie leaning on Jungkook's shoulder. Jungkook looked up first, his eyes widened slightly at Thing's new look. It wasn't disgust, more like surprise. Jungkook, Tete, your hair. Thang forced a laugh. Thang, you like it? Jungkook blinked. Jungkook, yeah. It looks nice, different but nice. The small warmth of Jungkook's voice made Thang's heart thump loudly. He sat beside Jungkook, with a deliberate gap between himself and Jungkook. Hobie grinned. Hobie, Taehyung, you look adorable. Taehyung smiled gratefully. Taehyung, thank you. While the others talked, Taehyung occasionally catch Jungkook staring at him. He wasn't sure that what that look meant, but when Jungkook finally spoke, his tone was gentle. Jungkook, Tete, you changed your style too. Taeyong a little thought I would try something new. Jungkook's gaze softened. Jungkook, you were cute before too, Bia. Taeyong instantly choked on near Jin. He snorted loudly. Jin, well, that was smooth. Taeyong covered his face as the others laughed. Jungkook only smiled slyly and looked down. Taehyung could have been happy. Jungkook noticed him, complimented him, called him bear. Yet, when Hobie slipped his hand into Jungkook's and leaned against him, reality cut through the illusion. Taehyung pretended he wasn't bothered, but he was. After school, the group walked home together, but Taehyung stayed a little behind, hugging his bag tightly. He didn't notice Jungkook glancing back at him several times. Jungkook slowed down until he was walking right beside him. Jungkook, Tete, you okay? You are quiet. Taeyang shook his head lightly. Taeyang, just tired. Don't worry. Hobie turned around, looking a bit confused. Hobie, yes sir. Taeyang forced a bright smile. Taeyang, totally. You two go ahead. I remember something I need to do. He waved and turned on another street, even though his house was the other way. He just needed space. His chest felt heavy, his throat felt tight. Why am I like this? Why I can't let go? He looked at the shop window and frozen. Inside, hanging on display, was a pair of brown bear-shaped mittens, something Jungkook would find cute. Taehyung stared at them for a long time. Then he looked at the reflection in the glass, brown hair, dirty clothes, quiet sadness behind his smile. He didn't look like himself anymore. He didn't know who he looked like. He only knew one thing: Jungkook didn't love him. And maybe Jungkook never would. A week later, despite trying to be cheerful, Taehyung couldn't shake the feeling that he was fading away from the group's attention. Hobi and Jungkook shared more sweet moments. The others teased them lovingly. Taehyung pretended to laugh along, but whenever Jungkook Hobi's cheek or held him close, Taehyung felt something inside him shrink a little. One day Taehyung escaped lunch and wandered to the music room instead. Lying down on the wooden floor, Taehyung, it's better this way, right? He wished he wasn't in love. He wished he wasn't hurting. He wished he was someone else, someone who didn't feel left behind. Evening that Later that evening, there was a knock at Taehyung's bedroom window. He sat up quickly outside, standing awkwardly on the small balcony while Jungkook. Taehyung hurried to open the window. Taehyung, Jungkook, what are you doing here? Jungkook stepped in, brushing off dust. Jungkook, you left early today. I got worried. Taehyung's heart scratched painfully. Taehyung, I was just tired. Jungkook looked around Taehyung's room. Soft pulses lined the sleeves. Warm fairy lights glowed against the walls. Jungkook smiled gently. Jungkook, it looks like you. Taehyung stayed silent. Jungkook, Tete, did something happen? Taehyung hesitated. Should he tell him? Should he lie? He ended up whispering, Taehyung, I just feel out of place sometimes. Jungkook frowned. Jungkook out of place with us? Taehyung's lips bubbled. Taehyung, forget it. I didn't mean anything. Jungkook stepped closer, touching Taehyung's shoulder softly. Jungkook, You are important to me, Tete. Don't ever think you're not. Things are broke and melted at the same time before he was, because that was the problem. He was important, but never in the way he wanted to be. Before he could respond, Hobie called Jungkook's phone. Jungkook, I said go. Thing nodded. Thing, yeah. Good night, Bunny. Jungkook froze. Jungkook, you haven't called me that in a while. Thing smiled weakly. Taehyung, good night. Jungkook left, but the weight of the unspoken words stayed behind. Taehyung sat on the bed, hugging his knees. He didn't know what would happen next, but he knew one thing for sure: he couldn't fail pretending, not forever. Taehyung didn't sleep the entire night. He hugged his big brown teddy bear and stared at the fairy lights on the wall, watching the warm yellow glow flicker softly around him. His heart felt heavy. He was so confused. Jungkook's words kept replaying in his head. You are important to me, Tete. Why did Jungkook say it like that? Why did his eyes look so serious? Why did it feel like there was something more behind it? Then shook his head and brushed his face in the bear's soft fur. Taehyung stopped thinking that he has hobby, but his heart didn't listen. The next morning, Taehyung walked to the school slowly, his cri- criminal hair blew softly in the breeze as he hugged his books tightly to his chest. He tried to be calm, but he felt nervous. What would happen today? Would Jungkook act normal? Would Hobie notice something? Reached the gates and saw Jungkook waiting by the branches alone. Jungkook's eyes instantly softened when he spotted him. Jungkook, there you are, dear. I was looking for you. Thanks, big catch. Think why? Jungkook shrugged, smiling in the soft, sigh way Taeyang secretly loved. Jungkook wanted to walk in with you. Taeyang blinked. Jungkook usual came to school with Hobie, but today he was here with him. They walked together, their arms slightly bruising every time their sleeves touched. Taeyang's heart jumped. Finally, Jungkook spoke. Jungkook, Tete, are you okay? Taeyong nodded quickly. Taeyong, of course. But Jungkook gave him a look. The look, the soft, worried one. Jungkook, you are lying. Taeyong opened his mouth, but nothing came out. He didn't know how to explain something he shouldn't be feeling, so he just gave a tiny smile. Taeyong, let's just go to the class, Bunny. Jungkook's ear turned red at the nickname. Lunch on the rooftop, everyone gathered at their usual spot. Man was telling a loud story. Namjoon was lecturing Jin about eating fast food, and Hobie was cuddling close to Tang's side. Jungkook's side, Tang sat on the opposite side with their classmate, who immediately poked his cheek. Jungkook, Taehyung, why do you look so gloomy? Did your teddy bear run away? Taehyung laughed at the joke. Taehyung, no, Kuka, I'm fine, but Jungkook glanced at them with a strange expression, like something soft flickered in his eyes. Hobie leaned in closer to Jungkook. Hobie, Cookie, try this. I made it for you. I made it for you, he fed Jungkook with a fork. Jungkook smiled lightly, but his eyes didn't shine the same way they usually did. Taeyang looked away, trying hard not to show anything on his face, but Jungkook noticed. He always noticed Taeyang. Jungkook's distance. Over the next week, Jungkook grew different. He still smiled at Hobie, but not with the same warmth. He still talked to the group, but looked distracted. He kept looking at Taehyung, sitting beside Taehyung, walking with Taehyung and Hobie. sweet, gentle Hobie started looking worried. One afternoon, Hobie pulled them aside quietly. They stood in the hallway, students rushing around them. Hobie, can I ask you something? Then, of course. Hobie hesitated with his lips. Hobie, did something happen between you and Jungkook? Then forced him. No, nothing happened. He swelled the lump in his throat. Then Hobie, he loves you. Hobie's eyes softened. Hobie, I know he cares for you, for me, but sometimes it feels like his heart is someplace else. Then forced a gentle smile. Then don't worry about it. You two are perfect. Hobie looked at him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. Taehyung watched him leave and whispered, "Taehyung, yes, I believe that." A few days later, the group was studying in the library. Hobie drove off next to Jungkook, his head on Jungkook's shoulder. Taehyung tried to focus on his notes, but Jungkook kept staring at him, not a small glances, full open, soft stares. Taehyung tapped at his notes nervously. Taehyung, Jungkook, why are you looking at me like that? Jungkook didn't look away. Jungkook, because you are not smiling. Taehyung blinked hard. Taehyung, I'm studying. It's hard to smile over math. Jungkook leaned closer, his voice hushed. Jungkook, don't like it. I know you smile, and I know when you are pretending. His words were too warm, too gentle, too dangerous. Taehyung pushed his chair back quickly. Taehyung, I need a moment. He walked quickly out of the library, breathing unevenly. He reached the hallway and placed his hand on his chest. Taehyung, stop feeling like this, please. He didn't notice Jungkook coming after him until Jungkook grabbed his wrist gently. Jungkook, Taehyung. Taehyung didn't turn. Jungkook stepped in front of him. Jungkook, talk to me, dear. Taehyung shook his head. Taehyung, you and Hobie, you shouldn't be here. Jungkook frowned deeply. Jungkook, why does that matter right now? Taehyung's voice broke softly. Taehyung, because I can't keep pretending I'm fine when I'm not. Jungkook's eyes widened. Taehyung, please stop being so kind to me. It hurts money. For the first time, Jungkook looked completely stunned. Before Jungkook could speak, Hobie appeared at the end of the hallway, eyes wide, heart clear on his face. Hobie, Jungkook, is this why you have been distant? Jungkook turned, shocked. Jungkook, Hobie, but Hobie shook his head. Hobie, don't lie. You like him, don't you? Taehyung froze. Jungkook froze. Silence. Then Jungkook whispered, voice trembling. Jungkook, I don't know when it happened, but yes. Taehyung's heart stopped raging. Hobie let out a tiny, sad smile. Hobie, I knew it. He stepped closer and hugged Jungkook's arm gently. Hobie, we both deserve someone whose heart is sure. Jungkook's eyes softened with guilt. Jungkook, I never meant to hurt you. Hobie shook his head kindly. Hobie, it hurts more pretending we are okay. He turned to Taehyung and gave a sweet, tired smile. Hobie, take care of him, Tete. He is stubborn, but he is good. Taehyung's eyes teared up. Taehyung, I never meant. Hobie hugged him softly. Hobie, I know. You deserve love too. And just like that, Hobie walked away, leaving Jungkook and Taehyung standing alone. Jungkook stepped closer, voice gentle. Jungkook, Tete. Taehyung shook his head, tears filling his eyes. Taehyung, Jungkook, this is wrong. You just broke up with him. Jungkook softly cupped Taehyung's cheek. Jungkook, he ended it because he saw the truth before I even understood it. Taehyung, what truth? Jungkook's thumb brushed Taehyung's cheek in the softest way. Jungkook, that my heart keeps coming back to you. Taehyung's breathing checked. Taehyung, I don't want. Jungkook, I don't want to change for me. I don't want you to pretend, I want you today. My soft bear, my sweet boy. Taehyung's face blushed warm. Jungkook leaned his forehead against Taehyung. Jungkook, tell me to stop, and I will. Tell me to leave, and I will. Taehyung whispered secretly, Taehyung, don't go. Jungkook pulled him into a warm hug, his strong arms wrapping around Taehyung's waist like he belonged there. Taehyung melted instantly against his chest. Jungkook, I have wanted to hold you like this for so long. Taehyung looked up, eyes soft, lips trembling. Taehyung, bunny. Jungkook smiled gently. Jungkook, yeah, where? Taehyung whispered. Taehyung, me? Jungkook didn't make him wait. He leaned down and Taehyung softly, lovingly, like Taehyung was something precious. Their lips moved slowly, sweetly, filled with warmth and new beginnings. Taehyung sang deeper. Jungkook sought, pulling him closer. Jungkook kissed him again, deeper but still gentle. Jungkook, I love you, Tete. Taehyung felt tears slip down his cheek, this time from happiness. Taehyung, I love you too, bunny. Jungkook laughed softly and kissed his forehead. Jungkook, my dear, you are everything. 1 month later, Taehyung laughed now filled the rooftop during lunch. His smile reached his eyes again. He wore his pastel sweaters proudly. His soft energy gleamed brighter than ever. Jungkook never left his side. He held Taehyung's hand openly, carried his bag when he was tired. His cheeks whenever he got shy, called him a big Tete, my sunshine, my heart, Hobie remained their friends too, supportive, smiling, healed it. Everything was finally right. One sunny afternoon, Jungkook grabbed in his arm around Taehyung from behind. Jungkook, Tete, Taehyung hummed happily, Taehyung, yes, bunny. Jungkook kissed his cheek. Jungkook, thank you for staying. Taehyung leaned back into his arms, smiling softly. Taehyung, thank you for choosing me. Jungkook tightened his hug. Jungkook, I'll wait. And under the warm sunlight, surrounded by their friends with his bunny's arm around him, Taehyung finally believed he wasn't forgettable, he wasn't second, he was loved completely, beautifully, happily at the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't mind uh, the small closeness between Jungkook and Hobie because it was necessary uh, to show Taehyung's feelings but this way. I hope you will understand and enjoy this. Just try to ignore that part and enjoy the story and take it. Bye bye.